they use this sort of cover, like, no, we listen to the Torah, we don't listen to this, but they were, for all practical purposes, they were not religious. So that brings us to the meat and potatoes of this of the share of the class. You look at these people. They had a following, meaning they had a belief, they had a desire, and they needed to make this legitimate. Their desire was they wanted to be more Greek-like, but they knew that it's against the Torah. It's against the Torah. Many of the things are sins. It's completely against the Torah. So they had to make it legitimate. So they had to do what is called rationalizing. They had to rationalize their thought process, and that's why they have to come to the conclusion. Oh, wait a minute. We don't really need to listen to the rabbis. We don't need to really do this. You know how people come and they start rationalizing, and they come to a conclusion exactly where they want to be, and that's what rationalization is. The process of coming up with a rational explanation for a certain behavior. Meaning you're engaging in a certain behavior, and you want that behavior to seem optimal. You want that behavior to seem good. You want that behavior to seem correct. So you make up some sort of rationalization, which in other words, it's an excuse, to make it seem okay. And this is something that everybody does. We all do it all the time. You see it very, very broadly seen, very clearly seen. You see it in the dating world. You see when people are dating, you have sometimes there's a massive problem, and the one side doesn't see the problem. Whatever it is, it could be anger issues, it could be a drug problem, doesn't matter. Whatever, it could be a massive problem. But let's be a little bit more specific. Let's say a girl is dating a guy, and this guy that she finds out that has somewhat of a drug problem. Again, when you say drug problem, the somewhat doesn't make that much of a difference. But let's say he has some sort of a drug problem. But then she starts thinking, okay, wait, comes from a lot of money, and he's very good looking, and he's going to provide me a good life, and you start okay, so you start rationalizing the drug isn't really so bad, it's really not that often, he doesn't really get that much into it. You start rationalizing because you want to go to a certain conclusion. You want to continue dating this guy, so you say, okay, fine, it's not that bad because of X, Y, and Z. And it goes vice versa for men to women as well. And it goes, by the way, the other way around, where let's say somebody's dating, a girl or whatever, and a girl's dating a guy, and they start finding problems. But these are not real problems. These are just, the person has cold feet. So they start making up problems. Oh, well, her last name is so far away from the alphabet that mine, is it really going to make that much of a difference? I don't know. She's in a completely different zip code. How are we going to be able to figure it out? Oh my gosh, her shoe size is not what I thought it was. People come to some sort of weird conclusions, and they're there's got to be a red flag. I mean, he's financing his car. He's not leasing it. Come on, Rabbi. Are you kidding me? If that's not a red flag, I don't know what is. They come to some sort of retarded, conclusions, and they're okay, I have to run away. Why? Because let's say it's getting too serious. Let's say everything is matching up. Let's say everything is working out, and they get nervous. They get cold feet. They're oh, wait a minute, we can't do that. So it goes in both ways.